Alright everybody, welcome back to Valkyrie Profile. We are in Chapter 5. Damn it. Stop. And I am getting ready to, so I stopped into the Cave of Oblivion, fought some pretty gnarly monsters actually. But here we've got Yale, and I'm about to show you why I'm going to transfer her.
In the name of my lord! Finishing strike! Eternal raid!
Okay, well that didn't work like I planned, but whatever.
Now you have felt my power.
Ugh, God, that voice. It's like Ash. It's fucking Ash Ketchum. It's weird. But yeah, it didn't work that time because that bird thing had been knocked down, but that PWS frequently misses against flying enemies. I think it only didn't miss then because it was already dead and lying on the ground, but if it was still alive and able to be hovering, it would have, like everything but like maybe the last hit would have missed. And like other than that, like she's just kind of meh. Nothing really too special about her, so that is why I am going to be transferring her pretty much right now. So I'm going to do that. Let me look at my seal rating here. Yeah, seal value 17. So when I transfer her, that's going to shoot up to 29. And then when I recruit this next character, it's going to plummet to about 9. It's going to plummet by 20, I think. Maybe it's 15. Maybe Lucian's 20 and this other character's 15. But whatever. I'm going to go ahead and sort of, you know, re-equip her. Give her all the crappy stuff. It really doesn't matter. Like as long as you have them, what am I trying to say? As long as they meet the requirements for the chapter and they have a high hero value, they're not going to die. You know, because of that, I'm not gonna show you like, what happens if someone dies. I don't think I've had that happen since I was like a child. Like it's been a while. Yeah. Let's see here. I actually can't remember what Freya asked for. So I'm gonna make a quick save state and I'm gonna hop into the Artolian Mountain Ruins and talk to the fairy here. I'm in here, Leneth, as a token of my esteem. You abilities are here. Yeah, baby, 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 baby. Baby, baby, baby. Baby, baby, baby. Baby, baby, baby. Okay, thank you. Jesus fucking Christ. March, attack power, defend, resist damage. Oh. Didn't she send something about... I thought she said something about wanting an Einherjar that had, like, knowledge of the undead or whatever because of Hell coming and bringing forth her armies of the undead or whatever. Whatever. Quick load. Okay, well, if that's the case, a divine item here. Fire, Signer's Bane. Alright, it's none of these. Huh, okay. Well, I guess it's not any of those things. Whatever. I feel like... Whatever. Huh. Maybe I'm thinking of something. Maybe I'm thinking of my PSP playthrough. Maybe I'm just getting confused. I'll give her a flame bandana. Sure, why the fuck not? Flame bandana. Alright, and... Alright. She got a couple more. We'll go ahead and power up some of her other stats here a little bit. Already got her hero value max, so no need to dick around with that. Yeah, it's maxed out. Alright, so... Alright, and I'm not sending her away with any equipment that I don't want to lose. So that's good. Alright. Yusa getting transferred. Now, if you're going for the A ending, you need to transfer Lucian in this chapter or the next. But we're not going to transfer him this chapter. We're going to transfer him the next chapter, which I highly recommend because he's a really powerful character. Like, he's really good. His PWS is kind of meh, but one of his regular attacks is like just absolutely baller. So yeah, I'm gonna hold off on sending him for as long as you possibly can, while still managing to get the A ending, which is basically like he's gonna be with us for all of this chapter and all of the next one right up until the sacred phase, and then that's when I'm gonna send him right before ending the chapter. So. We'll go ahead and make a quick save state just in case I forgot something, and we will send Yale to Valhalla. And that should raise me, yeah, that raised me back up to 29. Alright, so I'm going to edit my party here, and I'm going to bring in Lucian, and remove these two. Don't know, I know I'm putting the character that I get next, I'm putting her there, and I don't know who's going to be the fourth, but we'll find out. Anyway, you guys ready for a long cutscene? Let's go fucking do it. Do it! Ba-bam. Alright, here we go. Fucking story is about to be fucking happening here. Meow. Cat's meowing at me. Whatever are you doing, wandering around at this hour? What do you want? Come here, bud. Oh, this and that. I'm basically consumed with melancholy after a particularly debauched midnight tryst. Oh my goodness. I'm joking. Yeah, she's like, oh yeah, no, I'm particularly, you know, feeling hungover and fucked up after last night's threesome. Anyway, what do you want? Ahem. Lady Lorenta, she's passed away. Oh, I see.
That little freak Lazar did it? I mean, I can't say I necessarily blame him.
So yeah, this gal really hated Lorenta, really hated her teacher. Basically all the rebel students hated her, even though she was apparently a nice lady and knew her shit. She was just kind of strict. One of those tough love kind of teachers, I guess. So Mystina here basically has an astral projection machine. Oh yeah, hell yeah, it's the music I like again.
some sort of glyphs engraved on the walls. But these are runes? It can't be. The 4th and 14th runes, and even the 22nd. These were thought lost forever. What can this mean?
It means they're not actually runes.
Ah, they've already been dispelled.
At least not Norse runes.
If he has the ability to shift such a huge tower into another dimension, just how powerful is he?
Pretty powerful. God, so what kind of scary stuff does he get up to in these gloomy chambers anyway? I've still got time, don't I? This is Lazard's. Porn collection. Penmanship hasn't got any better. Man-made life form? It is. It's a homunculus. Huh. I didn't know he was into little girls. Why else would he make this? Accurate right down to the naughty bits. Ooh, that perv. How could he leave this sick thing lying around for decent girls like me to find? Come all the way in here in spirit form for this. This is way more information than I needed. But, oh, I know. So basically, she's gonna try and blackmail Lizard with this. So Mestina's character is...
This might be useful for a practice autopsy at least.
So Mestina, if you can't tell, is voiced by the same actress as Jessie from Team Rocket, and yeah, and Mestina as a character is she's an extremely powerful mage. She's one of the best mage characters. Her power makes her very kind of like proud, and so she's really kind of haughty and sassy. Lizard, since when did you become a dirty little peeping Tom? She's Jessie. She acts like Jessie. Excuse me, I am most definitely not peeping Tom. Alright, so this guy's back. And once again, he's gonna teleport in with a not pentacle. Or pentagram, I should say. Pentagram is just the star. Pentacle is when it's encircled. So, how'd you get so powerful anyway? A magic question right off? You haven't changed a bit. Lizard, you did her in, didn't you? I'm sorry? Throws the drink in his face. You're the one who hasn't changed. Whatever, get to the point. The Philosopher's Stone, I found it. What? Well, figuratively speaking, I did. A more apt description of the stone wouldn't be the 10 billion page codex. It is not as if all the world's knowledge is suddenly yours after obtaining it. It must be read. By the way, I have a favor I'd like to ask. A favor? I love that expression that she gets right there on that. Misty. I love that he calls her Misty. And it just reminds me even more of fucking Pokemon. Misty, you took my homunculus, didn't you? I'd like it back, if you don't mind terribly. Oh, and I don't want to seem as if I'm just demanding it back. I might be willing to compensate you with something. Oh, I didn't know you had such scandalous fetishes, Lizard. Please, ask me whatever you like. It is a very important thing to me. Alright. Well then, I'll go first. What I want is information about Bifrost. The Rainbow Bridge. Single connection between Asgard and Midgard. That is actually more or less true. Of the technically Yggdrasil would also be a connection between the two. Yggdrasil is the world tree, and it basically spans, you know, props up the world, and different layers are at different levels. So like Midgard's about halfway up the trunk, Asgard's up in the branches, Niflheim is down near the roots. And Heimdall guards the Rainbow Bridge on the at the gates of Asgard. Or Ausgard, I think, is probably a more accurate pronunciation.
Reality is so boring. I'd choose to sleep forever if it didn't mean I'd never stop dreaming.
I think most Norse words, if there's an a sound, like a short a, I think that's the term. Like there's short and long vowel sounds. If it's a short a sound, it's pronounced more like ow, like au almost. I think. I don't know. That's what I've observed. Certainly is cute. If she were to grow up, she'd be quite the beauty. That look on her face. Lazard. He seems so embarrassed. Look at that fucking jawline, my god. It said that the Rainbow Bridge is in the forest of the World Tree. Where the elves live? That's not necessarily true. The elves don't live down on Midgard. The elves live in Niflheim, which is up next door to Midgard, pretty much. Or next door to Asgard. Well, that can't be. Oh. Really? Wait, what did they say? Oh, yeah. Okay. Those elves piss me off. Who do they think they are, anyway? Wow. Never leave that damn forest and keep totally to themselves. Wish they'd all just crawl into a hole and die somewhere. Oh my god. This lady is vicious. Oh my, that would be very bad indeed. Oh yeah? Why? You know what the elves are responsible for, don't you? So this is like a totally original piece of mythology. They made all of this up, but it's still, that's not a bad thing. It's really interesting. It's kind of an interesting spin that they took here. During the process of development of my homunculi, I learned something very interesting. Something interesting? Gods require elves to walk on Midgard in so many words. They are vessels of the gods. Yeah, so elves are basically don't have souls, and they randomly get possessed by gods if the gods ever want to come down to Earth and wander around. Which is kind of fucked up when you think about it. It's almost like all of the elves are like people in the Matrix, and they're getting hacked into by agents. Children can be born. Interesting. No way. Far out, dude. No, it's true. In fact, Odin himself is a half-elf. No clue where that came from. Tale of Odin gain the throne of the gods, yes? The more accurate... Odin is actually half something. He's half... what he is he's half Jotun. Because the giants were the primordial sort of beings that the gods kind of evolved out of. And became like a second... you know, race all on their own. But like... yeah, that's why, like, considering the Jotuns to be like bad guys is kind of stupid.
Odin used to be a rather weak god indeed.
It's not clear that even the Old Norse people thought that. It's more of a Christian invention that the giants were kind of like these evil whatever. They were more just like primordial forces, elemental forces.
Well, now that you mention it...
But all of the oldest gods are basically descended from Jotuns, descended from giants.
Humans are incomplete beings. Gods, then, can be considered the final evolution of man. In other words, gods do not grow, but are static. However...
Odin was different, because he's a half-elf.
The interesting thing is that the Vanir, according to some sources, aren't necessarily distinguished from elves. So in this game, the Vanir are giants and warlike when they were neither. And elves are the vessels of the gods, when in fact elves in some ways are more like the Vanir, and the Aesir are more like Jotuns.
Now this is where it gets interesting.
Oh boy, let me wring my hands evilly. Yes, yes.
Travel through Midgard to protect the world tree.
You're repeating yourself, Lizard.
Listen well, Misty. It's possible to transfer human souls into elves. There it is, conclusive proof that gods and human souls are roughly equivalent beings.
So you're talking about moving souls from one body to another?
Do you know what my homunculi are crafted from?
They're half-elf, half-human.
Correct. My homunculi are essentially half-elves.
So basically, if you have an elf, it's a thing that you can put a soul into.
Might I not become a god?
And then if you have a human, it adds the ability to grow or whatever. So if you mix the two, you have a vessel that can grow as opposed to a vessel that can't grow. But you can't just put it into a human because a human already has a soul. But if you put it in an elf, the elf can't grow. But if it's half human, half elf, it's an empty vessel, but it can grow. And his whole thing is like, basically, he can upgrade these vessels to be, you know, capable of growth and evolution. And then if you shift your soul into one, you become a god, basically. At any rate, it would be pointless to move the homunculus now. I no longer have anywhere to store it. It's also ambiguous what, if they're going to say that Odin's a half-elf, like, okay, well, what's the other half? You know, never quite say that, but... yeah. So because Odin is half-elf, he's able to grow and expand beyond his static state that most other gods are in. So basically, if the gods are perfect, Odin is able to evolve beyond perfect, basically. So yeah, now Misty's just chilling. You know, astral projecting like a boss. Just... Misty, can you hear me? I have ambitions beyond becoming a god, you know. Yeah, so basically he wants to transfer his soul into the body of a half-elf, half-human homunculus so that he can become a god. And he's going to try to... He made that homunculus so he could transfer Valkyrie's soul into it. Weird. Anyway, so this is where, yeah. Misty, you shall have the sleep you so desire. Dream your dreams somewhere other than this place. That is all I care about. Does this not satisfy you? So, yeah, now he's gonna... basically, like, straight up first Matrix movie Cypher style pulling the plug on her right here. Destroys her body while she's out in the Matrix. Quote-unquote astral projecting. Her existence was a bit of a threat to me, I must admit. Oh man, what a jerk. So yeah, now her soul is stranded with no body to go back to, so Valkyrie pops up and it's like, hey, you want to party with me?
Would you care to journey with us?
What a nice way of asking.
Me? With you?
God. What an ego.
Also, if you should join us, it may be possible for you to research Bifrost and Yggdrasil.
Fine, I'll come with you. I mean, it's not as if I really have any other choice, do I?
Indeed.
Valkyrie...
And you don't have to tempt me with stupid promises either.
Valkyrie just enunciates things way too hard in her speech. But, I mean, she is kind of wooden and rigid right now in the story.
Fun to haunt that little freak.
Fun to haunt that little freak. Freak. Freaky freaky. Freaky deaky. Alright. So, we just, basically... Okay, so it was only 15, it wasn't 20. Okay. That's okay. It has to be below 37 at the end of Chapter 6, between the Chapter 6 and Chapter 7 Sacred Phase. And when that happens, we'll get a cutscene both before and after, not this coming Sacred Phase, but the one after that. And it's going to go down to 12 during the next Sacred Phase, and it's going to go down by another 2 for each. We're probably going to recruit 2 or 3 characters in Chapter 6, which will bring it down to, bring it down to, like, 8 or 6. And then we'll transfer someone in Chapter 6, and that will bring it up to, no more than 20. So we're well in the clear now. That is an extremely low seal value, so we're Gucci. So you can transfer more than one character per chapter, but there's really not a reason to. You can get the best items and best score available by only sending one person. And if you're trying to get the A ending, sending 2 people per chapter will actually, like, hurt you. The only chapters where you should send 2 people, if you really want to do that, are Chapter 1, Chapter 2, Chapter 3, and then Chapter 7 and 8. Actually, most of the chapters you can send 2 people if you really wanted to, but you'd have to be really careful. Anyway, so we have... I wish I could sort everybody by level, because right now I'm kind of... It's kind of awkward to keep up with. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Lawfer. And we got some crazy amounts of equipping shit to do. A lot, actually. Yeah, there's actually a lot of stuff to do right here. So I'm going to be dicking around in the menus for quite a while, actually. So I may need to just figure out some other way to go about that. Although, real quick, if we hop back into Flensburg, there is a... it's not very good. It's not as good as the unicorn horn, but if you come upstairs here, go up here, and then, oh, god damn it, these stairs are annoying to navigate. And get up here, and then in here, and Miss Dina's room. All right, so if we come in here, yeah, Miss Dina will grab a staff, or her personal staff. Nothing we can do. It really makes me mad. Beautiful body. Here it is. Gotta have this. Gotta have my pops. Gotta have my infinity rod. Yeah, okay. So that's that. It's just another one of those items you can come in afterwards, after the fact, and pick up for character. There's only, I think, like 1 or 2 other items that you can get like that. I'm not even 100% sure what all of them are, but I know there's another character we're getting next chapter where we'll be able to go back to where they came from and grab an item for them. And then after that, though, I don't think there is anything else. Yeah, we have a fairly... we got this is going to be a fairly quick chapter, I think, I hope. We got all the characters. I already ran through this chapter's Cave of Oblivion. It's really just a matter of getting through the next 2 dungeons and then starting the next chapter and getting through it. And then transferring Lucian up to go ahead and get the A ending rolling. But I'm trying to see. Alright, so you know what I think I'll do is I'll go ahead and cut this episode here. So you guys don't have to deal with me just sitting here yapping, trying to fill up the next 10 minutes. So this will be a little bit of a shorter episode. And then in the next episode, I will play through straight into the chapter 5 through 6 sacred phase. So we'll do the next 2 dungeons, and then we'll go into the sacred phase, get out, and then once that's done, then we'll cut the episode there, and then that'll give me time to do all the shit I need to do off screen starting in the chapter. So, all right, guys. Like I said, a little shorter episode. Next episode will make up the time, and I'll see you guys then.